Hello and welcome to the video. Today I will show you how I recorded, how I mixed and what is going on in the project in the DAW. So let's go. Alright, let's check out the tools that I used first. So this is the main guitar for the rhythm parts and the lead and the solos. The Ibanez IC300. It has some mods to it, like the kill switch here and the DiMarzio crunch lab. And these are all in drop B flat tuning. Nice guitar. And this is the ESP LTD Arrow 1000, which is used in the rhythm parts and a little bit of lead parts. Stock guitar, but I'm going to change those Fluence microphones later. And then we have this Ibanez BTB 5-string bass with EMG active pickups. And this is for the bass guitar. Okay, and all guitars are recorded with this Boss Katana 100 and with this Superlux cab mic. So very budget-friendly setup, and you can get decent results if you tweak it a bit. Okay, and all the vocals were recorded with Suzuki DR650. No, all vocals are recorded with Shure SM7B. And this is an awesome microphone for any kind of vocals, and I think it is the best mic with this price. So get it if you need a good and versatile vocal mic. Okay, and here we can see the interface, which is a PreSonus Studio 192 mobile, and it's joined with ADAT with this Audient ASP 800 preamp, and the vocals go in the channel 2, and the guitar goes to channel 3. And I really like this unit and its sound. The analog drives are very nice, the Iron and HMX, the drives, and this is how they are set up. And the bass goes straight in the channel 2 of this unit by this tube amp here, the Art Micro tube amp, and it's very you only need just a little bit of drive. Alright, so here we have the project open, and I will start from the guitars, and as you can see we have the Iceman left and right here, and then we have the Hellraiser, which I don't have this guitar anymore, but I use that in the rhythm parts also. So all guitars are panned left and right completely, and they are, as you can see here, there is nothing going on in the EQs here because they are sent in the group channels where it's then processed, and the Iceman rhythm channel is here, just a minor EQs, and these rhythm group tracks are sent into all rhythm guitars output in the group channel, and so we can just open that now. So this is where all the guitar processing happens, and there is not much going on, just low cut, high cut, low cut in the 69 hertz and a high cut in 9954. And here we have some of the problem areas looked. And this is the Voxengo Curve EQ, and in the gray here you can see the vocal EQ, and this is a really nice plugin to if you need to tweak, because as you can see there's no more than 1.6 dB cuts, but I can sort of get those little cuts in the where the vocals are sitting in the mix. And here we have just a little bit dynamic EQ on the side channel, with just a little treat of the harshness. And sends are in the glue reverb and some of in the parallel compression. And now we can check out the guitar sounds. If we solo out the Icemans, and this is how it sounds. And by comparison, we can listen to Hellraisers, which had the EMG 8185 mics, and this is the Hellraisers. And now the Iceman's. Immediately I can hear the Crunch Slap has a little bit more bite and dynamics than the EMGs, and that's why I like the passive pickups more. That's just me. Okay, and there we have the guitars, and moving on to the drums. And this is what's going on here. This is programmed drums. I'm using GTD Modern and Massive. And the snare is Yamaha Recording Custom Birch. Toms are Toma Star Classic. Except for the last one is Yamaha Recording Custom. The bass drum is Guru Paduak, whatever. Nice sound, I like it. And the main cymbals, which is just, I think it's a presets. Okay, and these are all routed in the individual channels, which you can see here. This is the kick drum, and the kick drum doesn't have much processing, just a little bit, because these are sampled instruments. You don't necessarily need even this much. Just a little bit of drive from the Fab Filter Saturn, and then sends. This is the parallel no. Sidechain compression sent in the bass guitar, and some parallel compression and the glue reverb. And this is the kick sub, and we can solo the kick for a moment here. So that's the kick drum sound. And then we have the snare top microphone, which doesn't have really much going on. Just a little bit deep in the 500 to give room for the guitars. And then the magneto distortion and the snare punch preset. And the sends are in the parallel compression and Saint Angerizer, which just this alters through the song or by automation, and it just brings out the ring sound more. Funny name. And the snare bottom, there's just not much going on here. A little bit of compression and some low cut. And we can solo out the snare. So it's not sounding much without the rooms and all that. And here we have the toms, and there's nothing going on really here, just a little bit of EQs, and these are sent in the tom groups, which we can look here. And this has some reverb, glue reverb, and parallel compression, and then, okay, there's nothing going on here, and just a little bit of saturation. With the preset was Kick Designer, and then I just tweak it a bit. If we can listen to toms, I think the end has some toms. Okay, so let's solo out the toms and have a listen. Okay, so those were the toms, and then we have the overheads, and here is the ride and hi-hat and all the cymbals. And there's low cut in 100 hertz, and then there's a little bit of distortion, and it's on the preset is drums, cymbals, silk, and some multi-band compressor, and this is just the Fab Filter preset in the sit in the mix drums, not shit in the mix, sit in the mix, and okay, there's nothing going on here, and let's solo the overheads. So there we have the overheads, and then we have the rooms, which is, as you can see, the pre-EQ here. Just a little bit dive on the low mids to clear out the mud, and then low cut and high cut, pretty low high cut. And let's solo the rooms. Okay, and as we can see here, all these drums are sent into the drums main group channel. And here we have the sends. We have a little bit of reverb here, just to give it more room sounds and glue. And then we have this drum fattener send on the effects, which I can show you later. And let's solo out the drums. Right, so there we have the drums, and this is the drum track, drum map, and we have what do we have here? We have this is the kick drum, and as you can see, it's almost full velocities all the way because we are emulating a triggered drum sample. And in the snares, we have some velocity changes to give a little bit of a human feel. And some they're not quantized, as you can see here. They're all just a tiny bit of head of the click of the grid, and that gives you a little bit of more feel in the drums if you just move the snares just a tiny bit of ahead from the grid. And let's then. So, and here we have the cymbals, and as we can see there also the velocities are changing, and they're not 100% in the grid. And the hi-hats, closed hi-hats, and pedal chicks and open hi-hats, all that stuff. And the toms have also a lot of velocities, as you can see here. Just I don't like the toms being hit very hard because they don't definitely sound natural, because a drummer doesn't usually hit the toms super hard, or at least I don't. Okay, and moving on to the bass guitar here, and okay, we have only one bass here, and let's just zoom in that a little bit. All right. And here we can see that there's a little quite steep dive in here, just to give the guitars more sound. And we have there's just a little bit notch in the kick drum frequency, and then we have this sidechain compressor from the kick drum. Okay, I don't see that doing much, so maybe it's automated, I can't remember. And then we have this punchy bass guitar DAX from the Fab Filter, just a preset. And then some multi-band compressoring, just to bring the bass a little bit up front, and also using a preset. And then we have this frequency, it's just post EQ too, just to bring the pick attack more. We can solo the bass. Not really that process, taking a note of how many process there is. It's just not that processed sound, I think. All right, and also let's look at the gain staging before we don't have any limiters now on the mix, and how much headroom we have before the mastering bus. Wings of fire, third never ends, won't save my soul and death in my hands. Reaping the Okay, so you can see that we have some around 6 to -4 dB, which is quite loud, but I don't like to have any more than that. And then we can look into the vocals. And this is my vocal track, and it has the FAB filter Pro Q3, and this is the just a little bit, not much going on, just to treat those problem areas a bit. And then we have this vocal plugin, which I really like. It's by Sonox, and it has automated input, and you can use it as it treats the input signal and also output. And then there is this compressor kind of thing here, which is quite handy, and this saturation also. And as you can see, we don't have any distortion here. We only have from here. So let's check out the vocal track. Now it's this is Eka's track here, and it's just the same is going on here, except it has a suit here also. And so you can see what it is. Your maker, your time. Break yourself before something into society's mold. The primal instincts feeding the blood hunger. Okay, so there's that. And here we have some, in the chorus and pre-chorus, we have some doubling vocals, just panned left and right 60%. And the lead vocals in the verses are just, of course, they're in the center. So there's not really much going on in the vocal tracks here. Okay, and then we can look into the guitar solo, which is, here it is. Okay, so this is the lead guitar, and it has pretty much going on. Just some decapitator here with a beefy, beefy preset, and a multi-band compressor just to compress the signal even more, and a little bit of chorus, which is a nice crunch guitar preset from the Cubase. And then the sends are in the whole reverb, stereo delay, and some delay, other delay, and then glue reverb and parallel compression. All right, and then we have what we have. We have some VST instruments here. Just some fillers, And there we have this. In the pause section, we have this phrase going on, which is matched into the key of the song. And then what else do we have? We have, let's open this up. We have a, what is this? Okay, there's just some sort of hit. And then we have, what's that? Okay, so the reversed crash symbol before the last bridge of the chorus. And then we have what we have. We have some synth, pads here. This has to give the more grand feel. And then we have this retro log here. What it does is just some background noise in the for the pause section. Some bubbling sounds, and I just thought that it fitted there. All right, and then we have this fab filter. Okay, no, it's a synchron player from Vienna Instruments, and this is a free plugin. Get it if you don't have it. It's nice string sounds. And we have the Glacier Celestial Strings Glacier preset here, and we can solo that out. And there we can see we have the chords, just using the chords here for this chorus. Okay. So there we have what's going on in this song, and now we can look into the mastering bus. Let's just clean this project a bit. No, let's look at the effects channels. So what we have here, just a reverb here, which is used in the glue. Just all instruments are sent into this. And then we have the vocal verb, which is the lead vocals use. And it's just a vocal cold room presets on the FabFilter Pro R. And then we have this hall reverb, just to give some effects in certain parts. And the stereo delay, we have here a sweet vocal delay, which has these kind of values here. And we have the long mono delay also, here, which is also a sweet vocal delay preset with this kind of values. And we have the chorus also here, which is studio chorus with the tempo sync option. And we have the guitar delay here also, which is just a stereo spread, because the solo guitar is on the center and it just widens that a bit. And the parallel compression, we use the FabFilter parallel compression preset. And we have the drum fattener channel here, which is Decapitator, and it has the drum fattener 2 preset. And here we have the Saint Anchorizer, which brings the snare ring sound more. And it's automated to the snare, to the song, and it's snare accent 1 is the preset here. The mix sent on full wet, and then just the snare is sent onto this effect on the sense, and then just automated from there, just to, in some parts, to have the ring sound more. And we can check out how it's sounding. Okay, so let's solo out just play drums. Hurry up. Right. There you can see how the Saint Anchorizer works. It's just good to have in some sort of your breakdowns and riffs. It's just nice to have a little ring in the snare to cut through. Alright, so now we can look at the mastering bus. This is what is going on here. So let's start from the first. We have the FabFilter Saturn here with Tape Smash 03 and just some mods from some tweaks from the preset. Then we have this Pro Q here, which is the first EQ, which has some side EQ dematting for the guitars and also some lift from the high mids. And those were let's just go over. These are side enabled, so this brings the hi-hat and the guitars a bit more. And then here we have the 9000 side lift also, which brings out the cymbals a little bit and the crackle from the guitars. And we have the stereo enhancer here, which just widens the stereo image. And the first compressor is just a golden transparency preset from the FabFilter. And this is the second EQ here, which also again has a little bit of side demudding here, and just lift from the, just to bring the air out more. And this is the some EQ here, just a notch here. It's a, was it dynamic? Yeah, it's dynamic EQ. And another side EQ in the 136. So there was something going on. And then we have the multi-band compressor, which is a heavy-handed 6-band squeeze preset, and just tweaked from there to my preference. And we have this Oxfold inflator, which is sort of like some sort of limiter. And I just like what it does to the sound. It just inflates the sound. And then we have the Soothe here, which is making it better full range preset, because of course we want to make it better. I don't exactly know what this thing does, but it just sounds nice. And then we have this Loop Mash here, which just does nothing in this song. It just, I just like to play around with it sometimes. It does fun things. And at last we have this FabFilter Pro L2 limiter here, which is these kind of presets. And to make, just want you to know that when I usually mix with the master bus engaged, and to the point where computer starts to, you know, just go down a bit. But with limiter at least I mix always, and then when I'm done for the mix, I will enable these, and I have this exact same channel strip preset on my mastering setup, which we can look on another video. But now we can solo these out and just hear how it really makes some difference in the sound. So let's just solo, put everything on here, and now it will be quite loud. So start from the beginning with the mastering bus engaged. Yeah, okay, so I think we have the key things here done and gone through. I won't go into details how Cubase works. I assume that you know it. At some point we can look that on the other video, how everything is done here. But so this is how I mixed and recorded, and hope you find this also useful. And yeah, if you have questions, what you like me to dive into deeper, let me know in the comments, and we can look that on another video. Yeah, so this is my project here, and I also use this template on every Northforge song also, so I just have everything ready here and I start recording and then do the mix, and it makes the process a lot easier. Okay, so that was the mixing and recording part of the Blood Hungry song. I hope you enjoyed it and find some tips to use along the way. And I thought that at the end of this video, we should go through the key points in mixing that I find useful. And first is when the recording phase, where you just check that your gear is in good shape. Talking about the guitar strings, your amps and your cables and all that stuff, that there are no noiseless and all that stuff. And that your vocalist, and if you're doing vocals, that you have warmed up your throat and all that stuff, that you are in good health and you feel good. And yeah, so and for the bass guitar, I probably have like 5-year-old strings, but who change bass strings anyway. Yeah, and then when you are mixing, use your ears, don't mix with your eyes. Just sometimes it's good if you just close your eyes and just feel and vibe out the song, you know. And first, always use pre-EQing on the problem areas, because when you are processing sound, it amplifies everything. So usually, treat the problem areas first. Again, trust the process. You are doing art in the mixing too, so listen for what is the vibe in the song, and emphasize that, and use a lot of references, how the best guys do it, and then listen to those and just find what you are looking for in the song. I usually I'm going after a more natural sound in the guitars and drums and all that stuff, so I don't use that much of processing. And I think also what is important, that you are, or at least me, I am capable of mixing maximum of 2 hours. After that, it all goes just bad, because our ears are more sensitive in the 2K area, so you are just hearing the guitars and vocals and snare, you are start to push those down. So take breaks and let your ears rest, and don't overcomplicate things, and just make quick decisions at first when you are mixing. Just what do you hear? If the sound is too muddy, then just go quick solution, remove the low mids and search for where the problem area is, and keep practicing. You will get better if you do it more. Yeah, it takes time. All of this takes time, and just be patient and do it. That is how you get better. It's and that applies in everything in life. To do it more, and you will eventually get better at it. So yeah, so this wraps the video, and I'll see you on another one.